what can be only described as the first Thumper's Day Out vlog. And yeah, this will be me doing what I don't think I'm very good at doing yet, which is talking a lot to the camera as the world goes by here. Title of the video this morning is World's Best Commute? Question mark. That's because that's all relatively subjective. To me, this is my prized route to work. I got a couple alternate routes. They're more direct. They're not as pretty. You go a little faster. But the scenery kind of sucks. Here I'm taking full advantage of my surroundings in my new neighborhood of Sooke, BC. And we're going to check out a little bit of a gem on my route this morning, which is Gillespie Road, out to basically East Sooke to Beecher Bay. And then we get to Petter Bay. There's like 5 communities in total that we go through. East Sooke, Metchosin, Royal Bay, Colwood, View Royale. And then work is located in a subset of Victoria, which is basically View Royale. So yeah, our first vlog, I've got a couple of videos up, but they're more produced kind of pieces. Those were all group ride events, and ironically both of them are the same route, taking the Pacific Marine Loop, which is a blast to ride. But here we are this morning on my pride and joy, which is Thumper. And I know immediately I'm going to get some flack for a Thumper is a single-cylindered bike. I'm well aware. It's a name. It's not a term to describe the bike. It's the name of the bike. It has some significance in a kind of weird couple of tangents. First of all, the logo on the bike is actually nose cone art from a B-52 called Thumper. My father was a World War II bomber pilot. He flew Lancasters, Halifaxes. He was a squadron trainer. This bike, in my attempts to make it a bobber and a little bit more my design, it's got some kind of classic bobber stylings, but there's always also some retro kind of feel to it, including the military green canvas bag on the side. So you know, there's this kind of classic, almost like nod to the war era. And Thumper, the significance is little dude, timid, big feet. He certainly could be heard. That's kind of this bike as well. It's a little guy. He sounds way bigger than he should for its size. The bike, it's a VSX 650 Dragstar, which is a V-Star. This is the custom model. And in a couple particular years, they made a Dragstar version, which was this very nondescript flat black. I did a bunch of extra work, took the pillion fender off, just overall conversion to a typical bobber. And yeah, it's only 650 cc's, but hey, first and foremost, I'm an out-of-work musician. A musician can barely afford a bike to begin with. An out-of-work one, because of COVID, thank you very much. Before then, I had bought a bike. I had just enough dough to get into this bike, and there's kind of a reason why I gravitated towards this. I'm coming back to riding after a 30-year hiatus away from bikes. I grew up riding bikes. When I was 9 or 10 years old, our neighbor across the street had one of those Honda Trail 50s. It was a neon green little thing. Anyhow, he gave me carte blanche to using that. He was too big for it. He was a teenager. He said, whenever you want to ride, come grab the bike. I had a buddy who was a few years older than me. He also had a bike. He brought his mini bike down from the cottage. It was one of those rigid frame Husqvarnas with basically a Briggs & Stratton motor in it. And we tore up our neighborhood as 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. By the time I was 12 years old, my dad bought me one of the first ever YZ80s, 1979 monoshock YZ80. Salesman was adamant, didn't want to sell it to us. Your kid is 50 pounds too light for this bike, he kept telling my dad. Anyhow, did a whole bunch of hell raising on that little motocross bike. Oh, and by the way, here we are at Gillespie Road, one of the finer routes in Lower Vancouver Island. I progressed on from that little motocross bike to wanting to ride on the street. So my next bike was a, believe it or not, I jumped all the way to a CB360. After the CB, I decided I wanted to go back on the dirt. So I got myself an SL350, which is a salt flats bike. It's a kind of an enduro, as we used to call them back in the day. Excuse me while I take advantage of the world's best commute. We're getting off topic here. I'll wrap up on the bike history. My next ride was a Yamaha Midnight Special 650, which is the SX, which is one of the most coveted Yamaha motors. Well, this is basically a takeoff on that bike. So I knew I'd have a good, reliable metric platform to work with. That at the end of the day, kids, just gets me out there doing this. Of course, there's faster, bigger, more expensive, nicer bikes. But this is my ticket to freedom. This is my two-wheel escape. Yeah, so this commute, Gillespie Road, coveted drive. A lot of people drive down the island and make this a stop on the way because it's a nice little drive, very scenic, and it's got some twisties. So it makes it a just an interesting run, man. Far more exciting and a little bit more eye-opening than just blindly rolling down the highway. This is like a good cup of coffee. Beautiful Roche Cove Park here. Wonderful hiking spot. Trails all through the region. The Galloping Goose, which is our major old converted train line trail. It's a single rail line that was converted into a walking path, bicycle path, whatnot. It basically runs throughout the greater Victoria area. Here we are with the brand new Roche Cove Bridge here, Roche Cove on our left. Gillespie shows off some of her finer qualities. Some of these nice turns and whatnot. Admittedly, I left the house a little later than normal. I didn't want to encounter a bunch of traffic on this ride. And again, world's best commute, hey, that's a hell of a subjective thing. All I know is I'm going to keep telling myself that because it helps me get out of bed in the morning and get to where I'm going. It motivates me. It's a good reason to get on the bike. Now, admittedly, I don't drive all year round. Being out in Sooke here, there is just too much rain. It gets pretty cold too. Says in Florida, shade tree surgeon. little lean on. It's a wonderful little route, not long enough, obviously, but we connect to a bunch of other great railroads. We're just gonna make a brief detour here, but stopping into the East Sooke store and just giving them a nod. This is a great little place. They got ice cream in here. They got a FedEx and a Purelator in here. There's a greengrocer. There's bank machines, postal service. It's a whole bunch of things to a whole bunch of people here in Sooke. Normally I make this a stop on my afternoon tours and grab a big old can of Pepsi and sit at the picnic table there and then just enjoy the sun. Taste Buds, which is a mighty tasty spot, but pretty pricey lunch, that's for sure. And it wouldn't be a trip to East Sooke without a stop to say hello to the Sasquatch, or the Sooke Squatch. Yeah, a little good luck omen for the day. And here we go. We'll carry on to through East Sooke on East Sooke Road. Now this road, as fun as it is, it's a little bit in bad condition. There's some pretty good chop. You can see that they've got a whole bunch of marks on the road. They're going to start doing some patchwork on this. And I hate the style of patches they do out here because basically they use pea gravel, tar, and oil. And they just fill everything with that and hope that it sticks. And you know that when they get that pea gravel being shot out, that rock tumbler, it spills all over the road. It's treacherous. I just don't like it. I wish they would use asphalt like other municipalities. Anyhow, back to our gorgeous commute here. This next little section has very much of a rainforesty kind of feel to it. Nice little pile of gravel in the corner there, case in point. Got to be on your toes. Whole pile of gravel there. And for what seems like no good reason. Aylier's Farm over this direction. Apparently that's a very beautiful spot. Never been out there, but we'll have to check it out. Okay, ripping through the rainforest here. It's always a little chilly through here. Changing light levels also not only makes it tricky for the camera, but for the driver. I'm down into Beecher Bay here. Now the 360 camera we've got on board, try not to overuse that. It's more of a I mean, I shouldn't say I'm trying not to use it. I want to use it in a way that basically enhances this vlog, but doesn't get carried away with a whole bunch of, you know, stupid B-roll and all that kind of stuff. I save that for my group ride stuff. Those productions, they require a little bit more of a, you know, rock video kind of, montagey kind of pulse to them. The vlog, it's just going to be me sharing anecdotal kind of information and hopefully taking you on some sites that you never seen before. But rather than you being locked to my helmet mounted cam, it allows me to get off the bike a little bit and show you some of the surrounding scenery just a tad. I'm going to make a little detour here and come into Spirit Bay. Check on the progress of the marina that they've got being renovated here. Beautiful spot. There's this housing community up top. All of this is brand new, so I don't imagine it's cheap. And just this cute, quaint little marina that they're doing some really ambitious stuff with a big concrete dock out there. But just a wonderful treat for the eyes. A little bit of gravel in this corner because there's always guys leaving their boat trailers there and pulling on and off the road. Even if we're not hitting crazy speeds this morning, we still get to lean the bike quite a bit. The twisties on this road are substantial. We're getting one of our best days of the year right now too, which makes this ride pretty pleasant. It is the 1st of June today. And we're getting a high of, well, we should be well over 20 today. I think they're calling for 21 in Sooke, which is always a few degrees cooler than Victoria. And lots of chop and debris on the road. It's still fun though. So the vlog, yes. Basically, the theme is discovering Vancouver Island by cruiser bike. I don't know my backyard very well as it is, but seeing it from the back of a bike is a totally different perspective. Because I've gone out to places that I've been to many times in a car, and man, it feels totally different when you're riding two wheels as opposed to being caged up. So the vlog is just a continuance of one of my, hobbies or passions. That I'm a bit of a tech head. I like cameras. I like being an aspiring videographer and shooting some of my own stuff. Primarily, it's been music videos to support my other endeavors. Finally some traffic to keep me in check here so I don't go breaking any speed records. So the vlog, I thought, wow man, I could get a real naive kind of fresh perspective on some of these places, because that's the honest truth. I'm a newbie to biking once again. I'm a stranger in my own backyard here. I really I've worked from home when I was in town, and then the rest of the time I'm off touring. I'm not spending my weekends saying, hey, let's go to the beach or let's go to the park. It rarely happens. It's something I try and do with my girlfriend when we do have time, but it just hasn't been part of my schedule and part of my daily grind. Now with COVID, you know, reevaluating how do we fill our days and how do we keep life interesting and exciting. And sure, I'll even nod at a scooter. Anybody who's on two wheels getting out there, getting her done. Yeah. Beautiful Metchosin here with all kinds of history. The Metchosin Cafe, which has a stellar reputation as being a glorious place to eat. And the Bickerdike Auto Repair place. Man, that's got to be a historical building in itself. St. Mary the Virgin Anglican. That's an old church, boy, and that is the Metchosin preschool and another heritage building. Okay, so far we're up to passing through 2 communities on the way here. Okay, so now we have segued into another community. Sorry for the blight on our left-hand side, but we're catching them in the midst of this massive development out here. We are seeing a housing boom like crazy. And this is the new Royal Bay development. And it is, you can't fit your fist in between the houses over here, and they're just growing this direction. So right now, and even when they're complete, it's a bit of an eyesore compared to what we normally see here. Of course, that throws into the gravel. At least it's been oiled a little bit here. Now, check out the view down here. That would be the Victoria skyline straight ahead. So here we are, Royal Beach. We're getting a little low on the battery. Hopefully we don't run out before we get to work here. And one of our seasonal visitors to the park here, leaving signs of his presence. So yeah, a couple of volleyball courts. Those would be the Olympic Mountains over in, well, basically just across that hill is Seattle. We got Port Angeles just out here. We got a bunch of container ships out in the strait. They're probably waiting for clearance into Canada or something like that. And there you go. Isn't that a beautiful thing to look at? It's pretty majestic. So I imagine all kinds of new houses are probably going in here as well. The journey continues. Look at the ocean before we enter into Colwood. How's our battery doing? Are we going to make it to work here? Maybe so. Maybe so. My plan was to actually stop and change a battery, but this is looking like it may make it. I'm a gambler. we're going to share another little gem with you that's en route to work here. And that is our beautiful university here. So here we are, Raw Roads University. And some of the scenery around this campus is insane. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do 20K when you're on a hill. Gonna fall over here. And here's our beautiful and stately Hatley Castle, or also known as the X-Men School for the Gifted. Morning.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Into your Deadpool pose?
Of course. I've been there and done that already, thanks. I'm not sure exactly what they do in the castle.
Good day.
You as well, cheers. What a wonderful spot. Beautiful building. The grounds are incredible here. The ride up this road is just awesome. How's this for going to school? Wasn't that awesome? And we're getting real close now, and we're also getting real close to running out of battery. It's about a 40-minute commute, 45. It's about a 45-minute battery. Gorge Waterway. Oh, great. More construction. What was I saying about construction? Kayaks, canoes, people, babies, strollers, joggers, peoples. Feels like summertime. Just love this area. Cool to have a house on the gorge for a minute. I'm sure it would get old. And here we're coming up on the building now, affectionately called the bunker. That's what it looks like, or a bomb shelter of some sort. We're pretty high class though. We got a basketball court. Let's go to work. Suite number 1.
So we made it. It's the best part of the video. We've arrived at work. Let's face it, there are worse places to work and a lot worse ways to get there. Well, I hope you enjoyed the scenery today, and thanks for riding along with us. Another Thumper's Day out. It's always awesome. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.